Hello everyone. These are moments of revenge in football. This episode of Revenge, which took place in the final Arabic Club Cup champions between Al-Hilal and Al-Nassr. On 50, the first minute of the game, Al-Hilal opened score in the match by Michael, but then Brazilian made a fatal mistake celebrating his success. Michael parroted celebration of Cristiano Ronaldo, who was still on the field. You'd think that was so wrong, but Cristiano never liked it if he celebration used in matches with his participation. We can recall the same match of the World Cup 2022 against Ghana, where the Ghanaian player celebrated the goal in the style of Cristiano. A Portuguese man sitting on a bench showed his displeasure. But we're going back to Saudi Arabia. Just 20 minutes later, Cristiano was first on the ball after shot and dropped ball in the net of the goal Al-Hilal, and instead of his signature celebration of Cristiano performed something new here, and so it is clear that Cristiano allegedly teaches his opponent, and shows that the one more did not do such a thing with him. Already in additional time of 98 minutes, Ronaldo scored his second goal, but this time was not up for celebrations as all team ran in his direction. A goal was victorious, and eventually Cristiano brought Al-Nassr the Champions Cup. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and put a like so you don't miss new videos. The next episode of the match between the national teams Kazakhstan and Poland. In one of the moments of the game, Borzan and Islamkhan fell on the lawn after a collision with an opponent. Borzan was either knocked out of breath or hit in the Adam's apple, but this is not the most important thing. At that moment, Polish defender Kamil Glik approached Islamkhan and literally tried to turn the player over with his foot or kick. In general, it is not entirely clear what he was trying to do, and in the end it all led to a small brawl and the Polish defender was awarded a yellow card. Less than 2 minutes have passed as during the riding the same Borzan Islamkhan jumped straight at Gliko, and it is obvious that he did it on purpose. Although in the end Islamkhan also received a mustard plaster. But the most important thing is that he responded to his abuser for such an act of unsportsmanlike behavior. Even better, the Kazakh national team responded with a game, played with 2 o'clock and pulled out a draw in 7 minutes of playing time. Another interesting moment happened in the match of the current Champions League draw between Real Madrid and Leipzig. In one of the moments of the game, the defender of the guests David Raum managed to parry the shot of Federico Valverde, but the German footballer did not stop there and celebrated this event quite actively and eccentrically, right in front of Fed's face, and it's obvious that Raum did this in order to bring down the opponent's morale as he was looking for eye contact with the Uruguayan. At first, Valverde only responded to this with a smile. But then it was clear that Federico was still hurt by the actions of his opponent, and of course, a little later he remembered it. At the 80th minute of the match, Federico received a pass from his partner, removed his opponent on a swing, and then with an accurate blow plunged the ball into the lower corner of the German team's goal. And now take a look at celebration of Valverde. When watching the match, it might seem that in this way he rejoices with his head full, but then David Raum appears in the frame and it was in front of his face that Federico performed his provocative celebration, thereby avenging Raum for his joy after a blocked shot. The goal eventually became victorious, and thus the Uruguayan with his game perfectly responded to Raum's intemperance. And in this case, you will draw conclusions yourself, because the moment is ambiguous. I mean about the strange run of Antonio Rudiger. It looked like a mockery of a Japanese football player. Antonio knew that he would have time for the sword without his legs raised, but he decided to take a swing at his opponent, or maybe just to amuse the audience, which was then I'm sure many people know. The Japanese gathered after 10 minutes, equalized the score, and 8 minutes later scored the second goal, which became the winning goal in the game. As a result, the Germans lost in the opening match of the World Cup, and Antonio began to remember this moment. Ex-Bayern Liverpool player Manchester City and the German national team Dietmar Hamann said that you should not belittle the opponent in this way, because it will always turn against you at some point. I think it was very unprofessional. It was inappropriate and arrogant. He was laughing then. Now only one team is laughing. The spirit of the game is to respect the rivalry, to respect your opponent, and he didn't do that. I have no explanation or justification for this. In defense, I can say that the player has performed such movements more than once. Perhaps the German just wanted to cheer up the fans. Therefore, I suggest you tell me in the comments what you think about it. Was it a mockery or a simple harmless action? What could be better than revenge demonstrated not by rudeness, but by his football skills? And this happened in a match between the national teams Mexico and the USA. In the second half of the game, a conflict arose on the field between Matt Miazga and Diego Lainez. The Mexican broke the rules and then rushed to sort things out with Matt, and the American in response mocked the small growth Diego. I note that the difference in height between the players is over 20 centimeters. There was a massive conflict on the field, but at the same time, Miazga continued to mock at bylines and for his modest physical data. How did you answer that? Yes, it's easy. At the moment, he picked up the ball at the edge of the penalty area, made fools of the 20th number of the USA, and then sat down on the 5th point of his offender. Unfortunately, the episode did not end with a goal scored, but Miazga realized from now on that players with such anthropometric data can make fun of everyone. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and put a like so you don't miss new videos.